Hang up. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. Intel has told us there are at least 7.
Okay, I already see one. Give them. Okay.
They're the same picture.
Okay, guys, just try and imagine this, right? Imagine having a year so bad that you slash your profit forecasts, that you delay all future games, like everything that people were excited for. It's all delayed now, and you pretty much, promise to completely restructure your entire business model. It's a good year for Ubisoft, everybody.
That's exactly Ubisoft's 2019. That's how good it was.
Is it going to be 2020 though?
EA Games.
Oh, dear God, no!
Well, that's what the news is today, Sam. Funny you ask.
Segment there.
Because Ubisoft have promised some very big changes for the year ahead, and we didn't really know what they were going to look like, but now we kind of do, thanks to some pretty good reporting from VGC, Video Game Chronicle, talking about the fact that Ubisoft is completely restructuring themselves going forward to make sure their games are less boring?
Ooh.
Fewer boring games.
Less generic, like they're all just like
all the same
molding
game, just
together now.
Correct. Just slightly divided up, different label on them. Push it out. Ubisoft. It's in the game.
Ubisoft. It's in the game.
That's not how it goes.
That's it. That's exactly how it goes.
So obviously Ubisoft had a pretty rough 2019. They didn't have a huge number of releases. Their 2 sort of major flagship releases were The Division 2 and Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Now, The Division 2 actually had a very strong launch.
Yep.
It launched in a very sort of complete fashion that was kind of rare for the looter shooter genre. It had a really good sort of like 40 or 50 hours of great sort of like single player play or co-op if you wanted to do that. Like, it felt like a very complete product with quite a few improvements over the original that a lot of people really liked. But then it really struggled to maintain its momentum after that, as its sort of end game wasn't flourishing as much as it was in the past, and it really fell behind compared to games like Borderlands 3 or Destiny 2 or Warframe or these other looter shooters that were really kind of going from strength to strength.
And there's always now one game in a company that may destroy you. Star Wars Battlefront 2 for EA, Fallout 76 for Bethesda, Ghost Recon for Ubisoft.
Ready? Go!
Now, it pretty much completely destroyed overnight Ubi's reputation with like everybody in the industry. It became this giant dumpster fire, memes are going everywhere, everyone was reviewing it completely to hell. The Metacritic score was 55 for the actual critics, which is very low. They usually give like a 9.5 for a bad game, and 2.7 for user score. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. And I feel like Ubisoft have really been flirting with a line for a long time when it comes to like game quality, game sort of like innovation and uniqueness. Monetization. It was really walking these lines very carefully, and it was just landing on the side of like consumers being like, all right, we'll go with you on this one. But then Breakpoint was the point where everyone was like, the Breakpoint. Everyone was like, listen.
Nice.
That was a terrible laugh, Sam. I don't need your pity laugh.
No, that was quite good, actually. Maybe I always fake laugh when I actually laugh.
Nice.
Raf doesn't know what
At that point, everyone was like, listen, Ubi, that's enough, man. Like, the Emperor has no clothes. We're done here. And then things exploded for them. It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. I remember the first time I was like, oh, Ubi, what are you doing here? When they started doing the Far Cry thing in the helicopter and they're like selling you bullets. Remember that? They were selling you missiles.
That's right, they were.
That was the first moment I was like, okay, Ubi, what are you doing here? Is this a bad path?
Now, the results for Breakpoint were so disastrous that Ubisoft actually had to issue a profit downgrade statement to their investors, saying they're offering a sharp downward revision in the revenues expected from Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot, says Ghost Recon Breakpoint has been strongly rejected by a significant portion of the community.
Significant means everyone.
Yeah, he went on to say Breakpoint did not come in with enough differentiating factors which prevented the game's intrinsic qualities from standing out.
I mean, that's in a nutshell of Ubisoft now. Like, it's so true though. Every game they come at, you're like, didn't I just play this one? Wasn't this just in Greece? You know? Like,
yeah, that's
it's
so
all
true.
so true and amalgamated into this one monetizational idea.
And as someone who actually enjoys that formula, like I like Ubisoft games, don't get me wrong, it did feel with Breakpoint like, okay, you're absolutely taking the piss here. This is just, we're out of control.
100%.
So as a result of Ghost Recon Breakpoint's failure, Ubisoft promised three things. They promised profit slash, delays, and restructuring of their company. On the revenue slashing side, they went from a profit projection of 2.1 billion to 1.4 billion euros.
Oof, that's like 40%. So that's tiny, guys. Okay, that's only a little bit. And then, of course, they are delaying some games. Okay, some of the biggest ones that everyone is very excited for, like Gods and Monsters, Rainbow Six Siege, Quarantine, Watch Dogs Legion. Now, they are the biggest games I can think of that are going to be coming out for Ubi for a while, and they've all been delayed.
The last thing that Yves Guillemot said in his response to Ghost Recon Breakpoint was, "We are tackling these issues head on and already are implementing significant changes to our production process. We are confident in our capacity to adapt and evolve, as we have done successfully many times in the past." So this was alongside rumors that Ubisoft was going to go kind of back to the drawing board internally with regards to how it designs its games, how it makes them feel unique, those sorts of things, right? And the question was, what is that actually going to look like? What tangible changes are Ubisoft actually going to make? A report from Video Game Chronicle this week kind of provides a lot of information on that. Really good article, by the way. Going to leave a link in the description below. Sam,
I will remember.
And go and give it a click, please, to show these guys some support. But they have basically said that Ubisoft's editorial team at the very top of the pyramid is being completely restructured to provide more uniqueness across their portfolios.
So the editorial team is actually a team of 100 in Paris that kind of oversee all the games, right? But the thing is, they all kind of report to like the one dude at the very top.
Serge, his name is.
The god of the creative world of Ubisoft. So before, it used to be just like whatever he thought, his creative vision, those 100 people would like look to execute his vision across all the games. Now they're going to be doing a different kind of situation where there's going to be, 7 different leads on different types of games. And each kind of now lead has their own creative vision. They can do whatever they want with that particular game, instead of all just like, looking to this one dude and going, is this okay? Is this what you actually want? And I think that might kind of make different, interesting, unique games.
The exact quote on this from VGC reads, "The 7 vice presidents will each be assigned their own franchises to lead, with the authority to make their own independent decisions on future directions. Hascode, who's the chief creative officer, top of the pyramid, will check in on projects' progress at key milestones, similar to CEO Yves Guillemot, VGC understands." So there was a similar structure to this already within the editorial team. It wasn't like this one guy was just carrying, the whole load on his back.
Sounds like it though.
It does sound a bit like that, but what the point they're making here is that they're looking to decentralize this. They're looking to give those leads and those teams more autonomy than they've had before to arrive at more sort of independent, unique visions for their games. Because ultimately, this has been the biggest problem with Ubisoft's titles. There's so much homogeneity across their portfolio. Ubisoft games, like that's a phrase that we all understand because all of their games have the same shit in them. Do you know what I mean? Like, even Breakpoint and Division 2 just have way too many similarities at this point for that to feel comfortable, And a lot of that is because they said we need open worlds, we need systemic storytelling, we need social hubs, we need monetization for X, Y, and Z, like all of those things that we understand a Ubisoft game to be. I'm interested to see what they can achieve with new vision and new sort of like, creative energy.
I think, when I was playing Breakpoint, especially Breakpoint, I was like, okay, cool, they've completely kind of deprioritize the essence of the game to make sure it fits in this whole vision. And I think that's the death of many of these kind of not death, but it has been at the it has damaged these games severely where everything has to be a cookie cutter fit. And I'm so glad that they've gone back to the drawing board and understood that, and maybe in the next 2 years we're going to start seeing some really unique styles again of the games that they have made unique once upon a time.
Totally. And look, this sort of change has already resulted in some outcomes. VGC are reporting that one Montreal-based game has already been cancelled. Looking at this, and they're like, listen, they didn't really have what we were looking for. It wasn't unique enough, I guess. They said it was very far in development and has been canned due to the re-evaluation of the company's production process, while some in-development games as a service titles are said to have been reworked with the intention of making them more distinct.
Just Dance cancelled. Damn.
Unbelievable.
All right, really want to know.
The jewel in their crown.
It really is though. They make a hell of a lot of money.
It's not bad. So look, we don't know whether or not this is all talk or not. You know, like this could just be marketing and they make it sound like it's all good, but realistically nothing changes at Ubisoft and we still get the same cookie cutter Ubisoft game we've always gotten. But I suspect that won't be the case because like their company won't survive if they keep putting out garbage like Breakpoint. Like they need to be more distinct. They need to change this brand because right now it's like, you know, people look at Ubisoft games and they don't respect them like they once did. I think honestly Ubisoft has like a lot of good stuff going on there. I think a lot of it's just held back by their corporate bullshit and their desire to kind of make everything look and feel the same. So if you can kind of free them, like free the creatives of all of that bullshit, give them more freedom, I reckon that could result in some great stuff.
I think that, you know, the good thing about this situation is like we will be able to see if it is all talk. You know how like, you know, for instance, when they say there's crunch and they go, we've fixed it, guys. We don't know if that is actually fixed.
Just go to Glassdoor and they're like, no, they did not fix it.
Exactly. We have to like find the breadcrumbs with this. Like if these games in the next 2 years aren't fundamentally different in the way that they are approaching each game, then we know that this probably isn't actually a vision that they're fully looking to fulfill, which will be a shame, you know, but like it's interesting because I think Ubi has some of the most diverse IP in a single studio, you know, and they have such an opportunity to like corner the market on FPS and dance games and open world.
A big dance game market, huge.
I mean, I'm into it. Okay, why not? But you know, so it will be interesting. But that is it for today, fam. Is that it?
That is it.
That is it, everyone. Okay. I don't need your permission to say
that's
it.
Right. I give permission for this to be over.
So that is it. Okay, I'm saying it's it. Goodbye, everyone.
Plus dismissed.
Laymen out.